Hi everyone, let's get started today. Today we're going to continue on. Did anybody have any questions about last week's homework? Which we had done. This is what we did last week. If you missed it last week, we're making this table runner, and it or for practice. You can make it any shape at all. If you just want to make it for something to practice and give it to the Humane Society for puppies to sleep on, that's fine. So, whatever. This is why I don't want you to stress out about what you're going to do machine quilting on. I want you to have fun, and because the more you have fun and the more you loosen up and realize that's why I say don't start on a good quilt, because, you're going to stress out and it gets even worse and worse. So just have fun with it. It turns out great. You've got a cute table runner. If it doesn't, puppies like sleeping on it, and they don't care about the stitches. I know. And we'll talk later on about how to, if we have time to do the stitch eraser. So we did the loops last week. We did those leaves. We did little circles, and then circles with curly cues in the middle. Okay, and then here's one where we did like clamshells. What else is that? All we did? Yeah, I think we said the loops. So that's what we did last time. What we're going to do this time. Okay, Eileen, why is yours a mess? In what way do you think it's a mess? Was it you have nobody does? Hey, where's that thing? Do you see any real circles? I'll put it really close. Do you see any? No. That's why none of them are circles. And you know what? They're all ovals, but you'll never notice it. Look at that one. This one right here is way not even a circle. It's not even an oval. But does it look bad? No, it doesn't. It's okay. That's why I put those little curly cues in the middle, because it takes your eyes off of the fact that you can't draw a circle. The only time I can do a real circle is when I use a ruler and a template. That's the only time it turns out. And even then, sometimes that doesn't turn out because I missed the ruler. So, but it's okay. No, you don't have to have real circles. Stick them curly cues in it, and yeah, that is fine, real fine. Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to start off. Where's the one I wanted to start off with? Is little flowers. Remember the loops? This is an offset of the loops. Okay. Then we're going to do a circle, which those are not real circles either, And then we're going to put these little I call these peacock feathers, because it all shoots, and that's another background fill. Then we will move on to learning how to do a spiral. I know, Denise said don't believe her. I know. Then we're going to do a spiral, and there's a little mental secret to getting that spiral that we'll talk about. And then we're going to put some things together, which is some spirals and the stars and the leaves. And now we got something else. This would look really cute on the back of on a baby quilt. because or a child's quilt, okay? And then we will finish up with really tight swirls. So let's start with the, where did I put it? The little flowers, okay? And that's just 4 loops. So let's set this mess up. So we're going to start by just doing a line. And for me, it helps to draw my circle this way, do a figure 8, and then come over here and do a figure 8 in the other direction. That's how I make it work for me. So I'm going to do a line, and then I'm going to start a figure 8. That's pretty bad. So, okay, and then, okay, now's a good time to show you the stitch eraser because I apparently have no tension on the bottom. They have them cordless, but I don't like the cordless ones. Okay, then what you do, let me go back up some. Wrong way. Okay, so then what I do is I know the problem is here. I can get the loops. So what I'm going to do is go across those loops. Just go in a circle. And go across the stitching. It should just pull right out. And here's the back. Go to the back. See, this thread's going this way, so I'm going to go across it. Scratch at it and off it comes. Except for this where really tiny stitches. Now, sometimes it's not as fast. I mean, it's still slow because anytime you take out any stitches, they're always slow. However, it's a lot faster than picking out those stitches one by one. And then you pull it out. Now this looks like a mustache trimmer, and you can get those really cheap in Walmart and whatnot. However, they're not going to work. The reason is, I'm going to test before I'll do a test on the side. The reason is, see these little blades right here? These little blades are sharp right to the edge, and they come together and crisscross right all the way to the very edge. A mustache trimmer, they're recessed in so that you don't tear up your skin. Don't ever put this on your face. When my husband had a mustache, he thought, I'll try hers, and he cut his face to ribbons. So yeah, not the same thing. This one's a Peggy Stitch Eraser, and they are pricey. There are a few other brands. I think you can get a little bit cheaper one from marathonthreads.com, but I can't verify whether it's a good buy or not because I don't know if it works. I know that Peggy Stitch Eraser is good, plus the important thing is that you can get replacement blades for it. So, okay, so they're having the replacement blade. When you get the cheaper ones, you may never be able to get replacement blades, so they end up being a lot more expensive. All right, let me test to see what's wrong with this stitch. It's almost seemed like I didn't have any bobbin tension at all. No, that's maybe just a tad bit. I've been sewing on this, so just tighten it just a tiny bit. Hey, that's what I get for being a smarty pants and not changing out the bobbin and not testing it first. Loosen. Let's see what the back looks like. Back's okay. Alrighty. Alright, let's try this again. Anyway, stitch along. Grab that there. And do a figure 8. Come to the center and do a figure 8 in a different direction. It doesn't have to be 90 degrees either. If you want 5 leaves, that's fine too. You could do another leaf if you want to. Then come out and go in a different direction and start another figure 8. I just wanted to move. Figure 8. You can make small ones and big ones. Put a loop-de-loo to travel if you want to. If you try to do them in a row, it doesn't work. Now, I'll show you what happens if you, now with the figure 8, you see how they're kind of, they look like that. If I try to do it to where I get them like this, where I'm doing one after the other, I end up getting, looks more rounded, and that's okay if that's what you want. I just think they look better as a figure 8. Oops, I lost my figure. It happens. So if I want to go around, I could, but they look different. Okay, everybody see how that's done? Oh, can't see, you're doing light, oh, this light. Oh, I meant, usually you take that. I'm sorry, well, we'll continue. Thank you for telling me. It just takes practice. These are not perfect. This is not a show quality, but I don't care. I like it done better than perfect. If I'm doing this to where I wanted it perfect, I would probably stitch at this rate. And sit there and think about every stitch on my way to the nut house. And you know, and it would be forever getting these things done. And I run into the corner. I'm just going to go along the edge and come back and finish the last one. I only want 3 on that one. That's fine too. And I'll finish over in the edge. Okay. Oh, I think it needs one in here. So I'm going to actually come along in here, travel up along there, and offshoot from this one. And just put a little small one. Oh, really? Seriously, that is like decrepit. I should have left. See, that's what happens when you think you just need one more. Yeah. Resist it. Because when you think you need, oh, just need a little more, that's when you mess things up long. Okay. So that was the curly cues. Let's do the peacock feathers. Okay, peacock feathers are easy to do and they're fun. Start over just anywhere. Okay. And I want to look at it because I haven't done this one in a while. There we go. There it is. Okay, so I'm going to do a circle, and it doesn't have to be round. It can be oval. okay? And then I'm going to come and I'm going to make a leaf. Remember the leaves we did? Echo it out. And echo it out again. I'm going too slow. Okay, and then we'll move on to the next section. So I will come over here, I'll just sort of travel up a little bit, and I will do another circle. And then travel up, leaf, leaf, and I'm finishing on the border, pretend it. I may even do one more. Okay, and then I'll come over here, here's another circle, a leaf, leaf, leaf. I'm just echoed this leaf. Okay, and then I think I'll come travel over to here. Usually when I travel, I'll go a little bit slower just to keep, and I am not as good as Philippa Naylor. She's out of England. That woman is amazing because she can backtrack in the same holes that she went out on. My eyesight's not that good. Never was, never will be. And as I tried for 2 years to do it. I said, oh, forget it. Okay, circle. Now I'll start moving a little bigger. And I think I'll come over to here. And I'll do a smaller circle. Now I have, it's hard to see, I have this area to fill in. So what I'm going to do is this. Come in and just fill in some lines and then come back. And let's go over here. Leaf. Echo the leaf, echo the leaf, and I might even finish off and just do a couple of circles, a little one here. And sometimes when you don't know what you're doing, just come over here and echo somewhere and work your way out around the edge. So you can make your leaves as elongated as you like. You can make the echoes as close as you like. You can, I wonder if turning that, is that easier for you guys to see? Can you see that better? Okay. If you can't, if you like it with the light on, let me know. Okay, and then I think I will come to this tip over here and do a circle right at the end. Keep your hands out of the needle. That's not a good idea. And I want to go back. Remember, there's no rule saying how many I could do. And I see that doesn't look right. It needs to have one more. Okay. They don't have. You can have 4 on one side and 3 on the other. It's okay. You can do them really close together. Over here, and you put one in this corner. Okay, and I can work back over here. And this is going to be double. I'll use the same circle for 2 different directions. Nobody telling me what I have to do. Over here, fill in. Okay. See, I don't want to lose track of the time, so. Okay, well, let me see. I'll work on this a lot faster. I can do a partial circle. Doesn't have to do a whole circle. I think a nice one would look here. I mean, if I had more time, I would be more careful at forming those leaves so that they're nice and pointy. Now, one secret to getting the pointy, a lot of times when you go too fast, you get a round. Let me see if I can do one round. I'll get rounded. See how this one is more rounded? So what you want to do when you're making a point, you want to come and take a stitch or 2 in that point, and now you'll get a much sharper point. See? Compared that one to that one. Okay, and I'm going to come over here. This is almost like McTavishing. In fact, it is McTavishing with a slightly different shape. I think we did McTavishing. Oh, this is the classic McTavish right here, but it all depends on that echoing that we've been doing. But this is a McTavish that starts with that circle, circle-ish, circuloid form. Okay. Let's see, I'm going to come this way. Cheating. I tried to make it backwards. Well, that didn't work too well. And come over here, echo it out. Okay, let's see. I think I will come backtrack over here, and I'm going to start the last one in the corner. And I'll do a partial one. It's not going to finish, and that's okay. And this little odd shape, I might pretend that there's one here. And I'll finish on the end. Okay, and let's take a look at that. It's caught. There we go. Scissors. Oh well, this is why I have so many scissors hanging from the sidewall, and why when I clean up I'll find 10, 20 scissors, because they're everywhere. Okay, that's what that one looks like. Is it perfect? No, it's not, and that's okay. Let's talk about doing a spiral. Let's do a simple spiral. Okay. Think of a clock. Let me just get a piece of paper here. Okay. Think of a clock. And let me get a pen. And you have, you have 12, do it, so you get 12, 3, 6, and 9. So usually you come in, let's see, you're going to come in low. My mind just went blank on how I do this. Okay. I'm going to come up around here to 9 o'clock. Lumps in the 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock. When I approach 9, I'm coming in for a circle, and I'm going to end at 3 and work my way back out. So again, you go around. This is a simpler one. Come to 3 and back out, and then up and around. Okay? So again, I'm going to go slower. You come here, there it is, okay, to 12, and I'm going to leave myself room. So I'm going to start scooching into the middle. So this is like right at the edge, and this is moving in. Come around, sort of divide that in half, and then I'm at 3. Come back around, and you work your way out. And you can stop here, or you can go somewhere else. Let me get another piece of paper. 9, 12, 3, 6, 9, 12, 3, and back out. When you come to here, this is where you make your decision. Where do you want to go? You could come and go and do it in this direction. I could come over here. I could keep spiraling around and go in a different direction up here. The choice is yours. And you can make them as simple as just having one swirl. Let's see if I can draw. Let me do smaller ones. Like this looks nice in a sashing when you're going along, and that's just coming around to 3, and that's as far as I'm going. And then that gives you that set for a sashing. Usually when I'm going using this as a background fill, I'm going to go around 3 more than once. So if I was doing it as a background fill, and it's okay to cross. You can do them in the other direction. I have trouble changing direction. I usually do a lot of them in one direction until I need to send that into a different area. So a lot of times like this, I would, if I needed to come in here, I'd put a little one in here and work my way out. Okay, let's go to the machine. Swirls is really one of my favorite things to do. When in doubt, I stick swirls in there. And I can echo around it if I need to. Let's go this way. I tend to do them all in the same direction, don't I? And then sometimes you can do a really big one. Start with a bigger circle. See how I'm going over to 3 twice. Like I said, when it needs a spot, I'll just fill in. Now, see how I have some puffiness going on in here? Let me pull back. Okay, sorry, Maddie. I pulled back a little bit. You see how I have... Oh, you know what? I didn't move the camera, did I? Dummy. Okay, so I have this puffiness going on in here. Sometimes you can eliminate my bulk. I'm going to come back over here and finish this little area. So I'm going around here and around. when I want to start eliminating the bulk, it helps to divide it in half. So I'm going to come out to this edge and to where I'm going in the middle, and I'm going to divide it in half. So I'm going to do a big circle. The denser you have it, the more it pulls in. See here? So I would probably come into here, back over here, and start little smaller ones. See if you can divide that bulk in half every time you catch into you fall into it. You won't get pleating. If you work in one direction all the time, then you'll start to get pleat. So if I were to work from here to here, I would get pleating on this side. So that's why it helps to divide the bulk. Divide the bulk in half, split it up, and then take little bits of it. See, and you can't even tell that there was a big blob there. Okay, so what do I want to do here? Let's see, I'll do a little small one here. Small one here. A bigger one here. And I want to go in that direction, so I'm not even going to finish the swirl, and I'll come back. Sometimes it's just a little half a swirl. Gives it interest. Look how nice and flat that is on this, look at how nice and flat it is on this side. And you remember how bulky it was? It was all globby like that. It really does. And see, I got some bulk in here. I'm going to come in here and divide it in half. Pull it out. Divide up the bulk. Small one, another little small one, and a big one, bigger one. And that turned out nice. What do you think? That look okay? See what that does? I like swirls. Swirls are a lot of fun. Now the big challenge is to try to do these big old swirls. These, to me, are harder because you're having to make them really small. And what I did was let me see where I started this. I came over here and I worked around and around and around and then worked out. The difference between that one and this one is just a matter of how close I put those. And this is one I want to do in a really small area because that takes forever. Or let's do the one this one's quicker. The stars and the swirl. Here's the stars and the swirls and the loops. And this is a fun one to do. It's nice and easy to do. So we'll go on this side because I'm there already. Okay. Get this pin out. Missed. Okay. So I sort of think in my head I'm going to start with a star. Just like drawing a star, a swirl, I mean a loop, and then a swirl. Star. And at each point on that star, you want to stop. Don't rush through the point, or else you're going to get rounded corners. And loop. I think I could do 2 loops, 3 if I wanted to. And then a swirl. I'll start with a swirl. A loop. And a star. Big stars, little stars. Star should go here. It's whatever you feel like doing. A little spot right there wasn't big enough for a star, so I just put a loop there. No one is going to know that you quilted it in a different order. Doesn't matter. Oh, and I ran out of bobbin thread. Okay. That went fast. Do I want to wind a bobbin? I should have wound an extra one. Okay, and I'm just going to start real slow and just backtrack where I was. Just get away from it and clip. Loop spiral. Spiral. Okay, and one more star, and this one is done. I'll come off. Not even cheat. Come right off because it was the end. Okay. And that's this. Back here, and that's the stars and the stars, loops, and swirls. Okay, and I think the last one is those really, really tight concentric swirls. And these to me are the hardest because they're so tight. And so again, I'm going to start with a big swirl. And I'm going to come in. And I can even go in again. And that's what this one's all about, is just doing that swirl really, really tight. And so what you're going to do is I'll come out again, just go real big. And I'm going to leave only about maybe 1/4 to 1/2 inch around. I'm keeping these areas separate. Can you see? There. Okay, I'm keeping this about the same distance until I run out of room. Then I go between the lines. See, this one's a lot more careful to do. Because I'm echoing that about 1/8 of an inch apart. Okay, again I'll go in this direction. So I start really big. Take it about 1/4 of an inch. Don't give it a whole lot of room. Keep spiraling till you stay in that 1/4 inch. And then you have no more room, then you work your way out in between. And I can echo this to fill in. And I can keep making this as big as I want it. See, the secret to that, if you can see it, is to keep these little distances pretty even. And then work in between the lines to work your way out. Now this one's a lot more structured, so in certain ways this is easier than those free ones. Whoops, I went too far away. That'll get covered by the decorative stitch anyway. I'm going to fill in some more over here because that doesn't look right. What you want to resist also is putting these things in a line. It's easy to put these in a line and just keep them going. Now that's fine if that's what you want to do, that it's a sashing or it's in a square. This works really nice in like a 2 by 2 inch square, because then you just go out and fill. Like say if here's our square, I would come in and fill the whole square. Just leave a way out and do it a 1/4 inch. And you're just using the outside. Now, if I were doing this on the tiara, that's a 1/4 inch foot. And sometimes you can use your ruler feet. This would work even better with your ruler feet, because the ruler feet is a 1/4 of an inch between the needle and the outer edge of the foot. So that way these would look even better with that foot, because then you can use the foot as your guide. I'm going to do a smaller one here because I don't want it to look so square. And the last one. I'll probably come in and fill all these little bits in, travel along here. A little one here. Leave any spots out? Don't think so. Over here. And one more here. Okay, done with that one. And I'm going to cheat now. Hit the scissor because I'm done. So, okay. Has a little bit of a boxy look to it, but that looks very different than these free-flowing swirls. but each one has their place and whatever you want to do. It only looks easy because I've been doing it a long time. Yours will look this easy. Everybody started at the beginning, and it'll get easier, and it'll get easier the faster you can get over the fact that it needs to look perfect, the easier it will learn. You will learn it. Sometimes, like Joan, my friend Joan used to say, go get a glass of wine. I tried that. I fell asleep at the sewing machine, so that was not a good idea. Usually, you know, I quilt to UFOs, so I keep thinking of these as crop circles. Or UFOs, these are, spiral beings, these are alien eyes, so I quilt to weird stuff. Although right now I've been quilting to Star Trek. That big king size quilt, I finished that quilt through all 3 seasons of Star Trek Original and all 7 seasons of Star Trek Enterprise, and then now I'm working through 7 of Deep Space Nine and New Generation. So I'm halfway through Deep Space Nine, and I gotta find another project because I gotta binge watch all of Star Trek Voyager. So, and then I'll go watch something else. So, okay. So if you have any questions, email me. And next week we will work on, we did 5 to 10. This is 10. So we have 10 more to go. So we're halfway done with these fills. And then the last one we will work on some fun stuff. So, okay. So anyway, you guys have a good evening, and keep sewing and have a great time. Love you guys. Bye.